Hello my friends. Yes, back on the old Kohler. I am going to take the carburetor off, put the rebuild kit in, and at the same time I've got the carburetor off. On my initial check last fall, I found out that the intake valve was very close to being held open. It was at 1/1000th instead of the spec, which I can't remember, might be 10, might be 20,000, I'm not sure, I'll check that. So let's get going and get that carburetor off of there, get the rebuild kit in, and then have a look at the valves. You guys get to sit right there and look at the bumper of the truck. Hey! And look at me work. No, a little flare from the window, eh? Oh, that's too bad. Okay, so you can watch me from there. I'm just undoing these big bolts. For a carburetor, they're big. But the problem with them is that you have to do them a little bit at a time. Oh, I better disconnect. Yes, I remember now. It's all coming back to me. I'm going to take this piece of wire off the throttle. Good. And then we can undo these guys a little bit at a time. I think they're just a little too fat at the end. This is where I'm looking. Is right there. That bolt with the slot in it, I can get a 1/2-inch wrench on it, right? But I can't get anything around it. So they're a little fiddly widdly, right? I'm going to use a smaller screwdriver and we'll see if we can just back that off a little bit. So that's what I'm up against, and you can only take it out so far and it hits there. And the same with this side. There it is, there. So I'm going to have to do both at a time. So that one, can you see it? Right there. There it is. So they're, you know, it's kind of like small engine stuff, hard to get at. This one seems to be coming a little bit easier. Okay, I can do that one by hand now. And I can do this one sort of half a turn at a time. I'll take a half a turn at a time anytime. There must be a magic way of doing this, eh? So I'm still there. If you can see, you're still recording. So that's it. So when I get that off, I'll show you. Funny, this inside one seems to be coming. There we go. There. I'm just going to put those bolts back in. And we'll take this victim to you know where I like to work. But I'm putting the camera on the left side now, guys. Any gas in this guy? Nope. Good. Okay, now we have to turn on the computer and just check the gap on that intake manifold, intake valve. You know, I love the old American stuff so much. Good. Here it is. Hope I didn't wreck anything. And there we are. Exhaust, intake. Perfect. All right. So right here, we have a failure to communicate. No. Just a minute. There we go. There's our intake valve. The exhaust valve is fully open, so we know there's no pressure on the intake lobe. And I'm going to I've got two 1,000ths, which I know is not the right measurement, but it does slip in there. So let's just switch that to a 4. Well, let's go right, I think it's 10 is the holy grail on these. I don't think a 10. Why does that happen when you want light the most, eh? There, that's good. It'll never fit in there. Okay, so I'm going to go down and see what it is. So I was at 2 and it slipped in, so let's go to 5. It's a little stiffer of a feeler gauge. And it does not fit in. I need a 7/16 and I think a 9/16. No, 1/2 inch. Right. So, I wish I could turn this thing, but it weighs more than I do. So there we are. I've got this bottom cam, it has a spot for a wrench, right? And I'm going to go to the left to loosen this guy. Man, I wish I could get you to see in here. Oh, man. Well-made stuff. I wonder if my better wrenches are a little bit thinner. Let's try that. Oh yeah, now I've had this wrench for 34 years. And they're thinner. Can you believe that? I'm going to get the 7/16 as well. Okay, let's just see if we can undo this now. Okay, I'm going to turn it down and open it. Oh, there we go. That's a 5. I just got to stop for a minute. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm going to take a picture of this. This is the PDF for the Kohler K241, intake valve 8 to 10, exhaust 17 to 19. So let's remember that. So I've got the cover off, and I've adjusted it a tiny bit just to see if I could. And let's go to 10. That's our final objective on the intake. Right now the exhaust valve is open fully. You can see that. Let's just see if we can save this gasket. Just one little spot it's sticking on, eh? There we are. Hey! Now we can relax. So this is my skinny 1/2 inch wrench. Stick that so that mean tappet cover down there, that is actually a 1/2 inch. You see there's a notch in the side there, eh? Now I can't believe that there isn't a locking mechanism on this guy. Oh, and I was going to show you that it's not at 10 yet. Okay, how can I do this? That might do it. Okay. See that? So I'm going to screw that 7/16 nut down until we can fit that tenner in there. Okay, I grab it and I want to screw it in like a screw. It feels too tight, you know. But you know, maybe half a turn will make quite a difference too, right? I don't want to break anything. My biggest fear, I'm going to rotate it 2 revolutions. 1, 2. Let's see if we're anywhere improved. Yes, we have. Okay. It's at 10. Let's go to 12 and see if it's too tight. Yeah, well, it's all okay. I'm going to come back a little bit. Not bad though. Good guess on my behalf. So tighten it up about. Can you see what? Can you guys see any of that? I think you can. There, I'll say that's about right. Let's just rotate it once. Now, actually, when you get right in here, you can see the decompression kick on this. I can hold this camera still enough. All right. So now the intake is open. We're sucking in gas. We've sucked the gas in, and now we're on the compression stroke. Watch. So the piston's coming up, and then you'll see that exhaust valve on this side just kick a little bit. Compression, and we should see that exhaust valve just kick a tiny bit. There it is. Did you see that? Right there. And then the exhaust valve open again. Isn't that cool? So now I'm going to just check that. I don't think it's going to be 12 anymore. No, it's not 12, definitely. So hopefully let's try the 10. 10. That's pretty good. I am just going to close that a tiny bit. There. That should be just a little stiffer now. Yep. See that? Good. 19. I'll just go to 19 and we'll open the intake manifold valve there. Now that should be at 20. Can you still see in there? I'm going to zoom you out. Move this over. And we'll go down here. Hit right there. Yeah, it's okay. Look at that. That's 19. I'm not going to fuss with that. So it's done. Alright, so now I'm going to just put the covers back on the way they were. I'll clean up this with a little bit of emery cloth, the edges, and we're done the valve adjustment. Hello my friends, Bruce here. Well, I was just working on the old, I think it's a Walbro carburetor for the Kohler 10 horse 241, and I was doing James Condon's cleaning of the needle and seat because this one leaks air, because I can test it now. And here we are. This is just I got the bowl off, the float, needle, and seat, and I've just got some valve grinding compound in there lightly. We're going to clean that out with some Carb spray. Let's get this fuel hose off of here so we don't push that into there. It's partially plugged as well. Hey, this old stuff, eh? Blow that out with a little air. Now, if we look right down inside there, isn't that nice? So now I'm going to clean, or I'm going to bevel clean the needle. Same way. But I'm going to put the needle in the drill bit if I can. That's going to work. I'll just take a tiny bit of this stuff, not even that much. I'm going to do a side-to-side honing of this needle. Right like this. You guys can, we'll get a close-up of her. Right there. Can you guys see that? Almost, eh? That's on 600 grit sandpaper. Now we'll take that out of there. We'll clean it off with Carb spray. Okay, I'm just on that same sandpaper further up where it's dry. I'm just giving the edges of this needle a little bit of a shot. Okay. We'll spray that off. Camera rolling. You can say hi if you want.
Oh dear.
Hello? Everybody, this is Eric. He's dropping off a couple carburetors. He's becoming an amateur small engine mechanic.
Well, in my free time.
Yeah, which you don't have any.
No.
Alright, Eric's gone. I'm just gonna put this back together again. I have decided to use the original needle. I've cleaned it up. It's beautiful. I did the James Condon sideways polish the tip on it, and the seat is clean as a whistle. But from the kit, I've got the I don't know, I think this is a baffle or some kind of an anti-cavitation device. We've got the float. This is old stuff, buddy. Come on. Good. Now we want to make sure this is in the right spot. I think that's everything. Am I going to use a new seal on that bolt or just use the same seal? I find that if it's in good enough shape, we use the old stuff. And this carburetor is rebuilt. I like it. Well, thanks for meeting my friend Eric. He brings me lots of stuff. He used to work for one of my best friend Cliff's little house framing company, and Cliff retired and sold the whole shop full of stuff to Eric. We're talking like a 3-car garage or a shop full of old generators and compressors and stuff. Remember the 3 wheelbarrow compressors that were sitting here for so long last fall? Those are Eric's. Hi guys. So this is the carburetor for the Kohler, and we're going to do a test on it. First we'll do a suction test. And we're at 12 pounds. That's good. And we'll go to pressure. This isn't going to leak anymore, this carburetor. Pressure's harder because the needle could pop up. But we'll go to 7. So that's what the James Condon needle honing trick. Thanks. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Oh dear. Stir up. So being as the fuel pump was no good, I put a plate on here where the fuel pump would go. Sorry, I got earplugs in, I'm screaming at you. I did, what do you call, I sanded the tip on the carburetor, on the needle and seat, and we're just waiting to see. When I first put gas into it, it wasn't holding back fuel, but now it seems to be. I'm not sure though. It's a little wet yet. So, one more start up and then I'm going to shut her down. Let's just see something here. Hopefully it's not going to fall off the desk. Let's see what the voltage is on the battery after we shut her off. Probably dropped back to 12, eh? Whoops. Always get your polarity right, even if the new meters get you. It's dropping. 4, 3. So good, we got her running. But it's still leaking on that carburetor, so I'm still playing with it. I can leave it on the machine now and work on it now. So my plate doesn't look like it's leaking oil. And that was what I did today. Thanks a lot, guys.